America Meditating Radio Show, we collect wisdom, inspire each other, and empower hearts 24/7. Hi, I'm Sister Jenna. Join me and guest on Blog Talk Radio as we amplify stories that compel us to be more for ourselves and everyone else around us. The Meditation Museum in Silver Spring, Maryland offers a variety of courses and activities to make your life go a whole lot smoother. Located at 9525 Georgia Avenue, you will be able to experience the beautiful silence that's in the space. There are courses in Raj Yoga meditation, positive thinking, stress-free living, and personal development classes. For more information, call us at 301-588-0144 or visit us online at meditationmuseum.org.
Are you in need of a tech service company that's going to deliver the best solutions for your business? Then Attronica is your solutions headquarters. Here we specialize in your individual needs to make sure your business shines. For more information, please call 301-417-0070 or visit us at our website at attronica.net. Attronica, where we deliver for you.
Hi, this is Reverend Sylvia Sumter with Unity of Washington, D.C., and I'm here just to tell you how much I love listening to America Meditating with Sister Jenna. It's a fabulous show, fabulous guests, wonderful readings with Sister Gita. It's enough to feed your soul. It's a delight to the spirit. Hope you'll tune in.
Hi, my name is Misty Crutchfield with Gandhi's Bee Magazine, online magazine designed to raise awareness and inspire people about all of the amazing things happening in the world, as well as all the challenging things that can help us raise awareness so we can make a difference in the world and be the change. One of my inspirations is Sister Jenna and America Meditating Radio. I listen, you should too.
Welcome, everyone, to America Meditating Radio. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. We're broadcasting from the beautiful Meditation Museum in the nation's capital. Peace is upon us. We are beginning to feel peace, I believe, because when we feel peace and experience peace, then it's natural for us to take steps towards peace. It's when I don't know what it feels like that even though I'm trying to go for it, I really don't know how to create it because I myself am not a holder of that power. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking to Bob Baskin, a friend of mine from the Peace Alliance, and he's going to be letting us know about all the incredible work that he's doing there at Peace Alliance. And prior to getting Bob on the line, I'd like us to do what we do best here on the American Meditating Radio, and that is to take our listeners, all of us, on a journey inward. That place where you can find the inner peace so we can cultivate it in the world around us and outside of us. Take a deep breath, relax, and let's go inward. Om Shanti. The time that we choose to be aware doesn't necessarily require me to just sit and meditate. But even while I walk and move around, I can be in a meditative awareness, which is awareness of the soul, the original, eternal, imperishable being of light. For a little while, I'd like to invite you to be present, to be here, and to be now. Allow your mind to settle in the moment, to relax. This meditation is about awareness. It's about becoming aware of your original and eternal self. It's about connecting to your truth. Let go of your name. And observe yourself feeling nameless. Om Shanti. The time that we choose to be aware doesn't necessarily require me to just sit and meditate. But even while I walk and move around, I can be in a meditative awareness, which is awareness of the soul, the original, eternal, imperishable being of light. For a little while, I'd like to invite you to be present, to be here, and to be now. Allow your mind to settle in the moment, to relax. This meditation is about awareness. It's about becoming aware of your original and eternal self. It's about connecting to your truth. Let go of your name. And observe yourself feeling nameless. Let go of your gender, to discontinue thinking you're a man or a woman. Let it go and observe how you would feel walking around without a gender. Let go of the role that you play and let go of the titles that you own. Observe how you're feeling as you are gradually letting go. Let go of your religion and put it aside just for now. And let go of your nationality and even the language that you're accustomed to. Imagine you have no name, gender, role, title, religion, nationality, or even a language. Ask yourself, how do you feel at this moment? And in this feeling, who would think of you and who would you think of? The Supreme Soul would think of you, and you, the liberated soul, would think of the Supreme. In this state of absolute freedom, I am truly who I am. A free, peaceful, pure, immortal, and eternal soul. Allow yourself to just be absorbed in this awareness. At this time, There you go, Inner Peace for World Peace. That was the Letting Go track from the Off the Grid into the Heart Meditation. Stay tuned. We're about to get Bob Baskin on the line, who's from the Peace Alliance, and he's going to be telling us about the great work that he's doing. Before we get Bob, we want to turn the lines to Sister Gita. What reading do you have for us today?
Good day to you. The Gift of Peace. This book can be obtained at any Brahmakumari's space. That includes our meditation museum. Circumstances are like objects. They're not alive, but you bring life to them. The positive is more powerful than the negative. The positive is innate. The negative indicates what is missing inside of you. Light exists, and its absence is darkness. Never forget, you are a human being who can decide the attitude you take in life. You have an enormous positive inner potential still to be discovered. It is there. These thoughts will help you face any circumstance in life with a different perspective. Let's find out what thought form is sitting inside of me and use wisdom, the fact that you are a being originally peaceful, originally loveful, originally pure and blissful, and truth. This is life. Live it. Om Shanti. Good day to you, beautiful souls.
That certainly has set the tone for us, Sister Gita. We're very happy to welcome Bob Baskin. Bob joined the Peace Alliance as president in 2012 and has since been responsible for leading the operations and initiatives of the organization. He has effectively strengthened the Peace Alliance by building support and streamlining resources, and Bob has played an essential role in expanding national and student field infrastructures, affiliations, and issue-based advocacy. Now, prior to joining the Peace Alliance, Bob was the CEO of Spotlight Analysts, LLC, a cutting-edge political micro-targeting and consulting firm, served in key staff positions in the U.S. Congress, and was a senior officer at the prestigious international marketing and consulting firm in Yankelovich. He has also taught in inner-city public schools, been a public finance investor banker. We had the privilege of working together with OWN Network and Values Partnership on Oprah Winfrey's Belief series. And today, we're really honored to welcome Bob to the America Meditating Radio. Welcome, Bob.
Thank you very much, Sister Jenna. You know, your initial meditation and the reading that took place has truly calmed me way down. Nevertheless, I am unbelievably hyped to be given the opportunity to share with you and your audience
I've often loved your spirit.
Wonderful opportunities there are to really try to make a difference in this world. Look forward to our discussion.
Well, you know, I know that you've got an extensive email list of folks at the Peace Alliance, over 100,000. And I think that when we hear about peace, and I think of the word alliance, I see a real tribal connection here of people who really, really want to feel not only peace within themselves, but to see a world that can resolve their conflicts or differences in a more peaceful manner. I'd love if you can tell our listenership a lot about what is the Peace Alliance and what's its mission and vision.
Surely, and you are absolutely right. You know, inner peace and external peace really does begin with the individual. We have to live the peace ourselves. We have to treat other people the way we want to be treated, and we need to think about our actions and our thoughts and our policies and our programs and so on. But none of us can do this alone. And as a result, we have to form alliances. We have to form alliances with family. We have to form alliances with friends and neighbors. We have to form alliances with organizations. And that's what the Peace Alliance tries to do every single day. We are, as you pointed out, a large national, it turns out to be, grassroots educational and advocacy organization. We have a large number of people out there who have made the commitment to trying to make this a better, saner, more peaceful world. We are working very, very hard with our volunteers to affect and transform, really, the way that individuals and communities, and I know it sounds a little immodest, but even nations respond to conflict and violence. And we try to do it not just by pointing out the problems. Those are evident. All one has to do is pick up a newspaper or turn on the television. We try to show and educate people and advocate for policies and programs that are more positive, that can be used as alternatives to some of the more militaristic and punitive and incarcerating policies that are too prevalent in society today. And we take that work very, very seriously.
It's very important, Bob, because nowadays we are finding that people are kind of giving up on peace in their own little private ways because they get so disillusioned by, one, some of the peace organizations that have sort of given up or have gone so much more in a political dimension, have forgotten the real agenda. You have served as a CEO and senior executive in private firms. You've held major positions in the U.S. Congress. You've taught in public schools. How did Bob Baskin end up going more towards peace movement? Because that could be such a frustrating area because you know how easy it is to achieve, but the powers that may be sometimes create the blockages. How do you handle that, number two? And so I'd love for you to share a little bit on that.
Surely. And you're absolutely right. The challenges are extremely formidable. But I have tried to live my life in a manner that doesn't just focus on myself. I really try to have an impact on other people in a positive way. I think, that I have always, regardless whether I was in the private sector or in the public sector or in the nonprofit sector, I guess I have traveled the world of those entities, but in whatever position I was in, I was always working on trying to help people, to try to deal with more progressive causes. When I saw an article that talked about an opportunity at the Peace Alliance, it struck me. And let me share with you very, very briefly what really sort of made it so clear to me that this was the right position for me and that I could have an impact and make some progress in this area. In December of 2012, right after I had actually joined the organization, Newtown happened at Sandy Hook Elementary School, where 20 young kids, first and second graders, and 6 educators were brutally murdered by a sick individual. There's no question about that. And that happened on a Friday afternoon. I woke up Saturday morning, the following morning, and I went right to my computer, and I just started writing down my thoughts. It ultimately resulted in an article that went out to about 250,000 people, thanks to the good work of many of our affiliates who felt that some of the thoughts that I was expressing were worth others hearing about and learning about. But Newtown affected me personally very, very greatly. It turns out that 17 years prior to Newtown, my then 24-year-old daughter was very brutally murdered in Connecticut. Mm-hmm. I was born in Connecticut. I was brought up in Connecticut. I had been a public school teacher in Connecticut. And coupled with what happened to my daughter, it had a profound effect upon me. And what made it even more difficult at the time was that she left behind a 5-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter that I had to explain in whatever capacity was possible at the time why their mother was not coming back. It has affected me on a daily basis with you.
Yeah.
And let me finish with a positive note on that story. It turns out that the 5-year-old son, Ryan, has graduated college, lives in the Chicago area, and is working very successfully. His sister, Abby, is a junior in college, and she as well is doing quite remarkably. And their mother, Leah, would be so proud of them. But when something like that happens to an individual, And one never knows how one is going to react in those kinds of situations. But I only knew one way to go, and that was forward. And I've tried to live my life going forward, trying to build upon that tragedy to make an impact on mitigating the possibility of that kind of situation happening to others. And it's what drives me on a daily basis and what has helped me in my work at the Peace Alliance.
Bob, I'm so touched by that story. I had no idea, and what even makes it more profound is, here you are decades later, and a situation like Newtown emerges, and it touches something so deep within you, which is very close to home in its own way, and you didn't just sit on it, you acted on that. And look at how many lives have been changed as a result of that. Lots of love and good wishes for being such a courageous father and grandfather. I know that we both participated in Own Belief series that came up last year, which was featuring a lot of different spiritual, religious, and peace organizations. And there's still a lot of peacelessness in the world today. And one of the questions that I have for you is, if you could really just had all the powers that may be to really impact the consciousness of people, what would you do to get them to move back into their original nature of peace?
Well, that's a very interesting, challenging, and important question, Sister Jenna. Just one quick background on how we got involved at the Peace Alliance with Oprah and the Own Belief team. When initially I got a call saying, would you be willing to participate in a small conference call with some organizational leaders to determine whether or not your organization would be interested in working with Oprah Winfrey and the Belief team about this interesting effort that Oprah was going to put forth. I listened to most of the other participants, and to be very open about it, virtually every other organization, I can't recall, Sister Jenna, you may have been on that call as well, but every other organization on that call was basically a faith-based organization. The Peace Alliance is a secular organization. But as I was listening to what the goals of Oprah's Belief documentary series were, it struck me so clearly that peace building is a belief, a value, and a path toward cultural cooperation. And it was so obvious to me that clearly we should be involved in that effort, and in fact we were. And I applaud the wonderful work that you and so many others did to make that series so important and so distributed so that there are others who can look at it. The challenge of trying to get individuals and communities and even nations to start thinking in a more positive way is one that you just have to have commitment, certainly. You have to have perseverance. You have to have passion or understanding of the value of these kinds of things. And then one just has to keep working at it, and organizations have to keep working at it, and one has to keep reaching out and letting people know that there are better ways. We can't let our youngest citizens get incarcerated where they become educated on how to become harder and how to remain a good part of their lives in that kind of environment, that there are better ways through education and through meditation and mediation and counseling and patience, that they can respond to different situations that they are surely going to be confronted with in a much more positive way. And we need to change the thinking of many of our policymakers, and that's what we do at the Peace Alliance in a very intense way. We urge our volunteers from all over the country to contact their policymakers, their elected officials, and they have an opportunity to make a difference because they can say to their elected officials, I am your constituent, and I want you to do the following or not do the following. And that's what we try to work on every single day. We don't give up. We just don't give up.
Good, and I don't want you to. And I know that on February 1st you're going to be hosting a free tele-summit on teaching peace in schools, and we want to hear more about it to see in what way we can also support it and participate if it's possible. And I think our very dear friend Congressman Tim Ryan is going to be one of the keynote speakers.
Oh, absolutely. He is a big mindfulness advocate. He's written about it. He's taught it. He actually learned from one of our advisory board members, Sylvia Borstein, who runs a center out in California about mindfulness. He's just a wonderful individual and spiritual and inspiring congressman. He's the kind of elected officials that all elected officials should be. He's really just something. But this is one of the tools, and it has application in a variety of different venues. One of the tools toward a saner, more peaceful approach to conflict and violence is through something called restorative justice, which is a healing approach rather than a punitive approach, where you bring the stakeholders, the participants together, not just to achieve forgiveness in a particular situation or blame in a situation, but rather to get a better understanding among all of the stakeholders that what happened, why it happened, what could be done differently, how we should move forward. And that kind of restorative practice and restorative justice gets used in the international realm and certainly in the domestic realm. It can be used in the criminal justice system, certainly in the juvenile justice system, but we believe, most importantly, it can be used in the schools. I have a dedication to working with the youngest of our citizens the most, because those are the ones that once we reach them and once we show them better ways, they have a lifetime of opportunity to not only live their lives more peacefully, but as well to affect their environment, their communities, and their countries. And that's what we really are trying to do. So we are attempting to start basically a somewhat different but relevant aspect of what the Peace Alliance has done. You know, we have always been, and we've been around for almost 12 years now, we have always been educators, we have always been advocates, but now we are really trying to get more directly involved on the ground. And we are going to be running a series of courses, the first of which is going to start in February, and that one is going to be building restorative communities, trying to help teachers and administrators and parents and interested community members and practitioners about how they can affect their communities with the use of practices like restorative justice to make their communities better, saner, and more peaceful. We have just a wonderful array of really expert and influential faculty that have agreed. You know, it's people like Congressman Ryan, it's people like Kay Pranis and Carolyn Boyce Watson and Fania Davis and Marilyn Armour, and I could just go on. We have a whole series of people that are going to be running one night a week a class for something like 9 or 10 weeks to help these people who participate understand how they can take the lessons and messages of an approach like restorative justice into their communities to make them better communities and better schools. So we are really excited about that, and we are excited that you have been involved in helping us to not only educate these people and promote what's going on with the course, but just and here's a personal expression. I just appreciate the opportunities that I have had to work alongside of you. I will share. I think you will remember this, but one time right after I joined July 1st, 2012. On July 23rd, 2012, we held a training session for our advocates from around the country, and Phil Donahue, the noted talk show host, was one of our key speakers that day.
I remember very well.
The invocation at that particular session, and that was my first experience with you, and we have had many other ones, including and culminating most recently with the work we're doing with the Oprah Winfrey Network. I just think that we have established a relationship and a friendship and a pattern that will help society. I know that sounds haughty, but I really believe that we have an opportunity to help society.
I believe that too, Bob. I really have loved our conversation and was very touched by even some of your personal stories as to how you got onto the path of peace. And my deepest pure feelings and wish for you and everyone at the Peace Alliance is just continued amplification of the work that you're doing. And before I definitely let you go, leave our listeners with a website or contact information if in case they would like to get involved with the telesummit.
Absolutely. All they have to do is click into www.peacealliance, one word, peacealliance.org, PEACEALLIANCE, www.peacealliance.org. And you will have the opportunity to not only learn about this upcoming virtual course that we are going to be hosting, but as well some of the other ways that people can get involved to make this a better world.
Bob-Baskin from the Peace Alliance, thank you so very much. All the very best.
To you as well, and your comments were much appreciated and much valued and treasured by me. Thank you very much, Sister Jenna.
Take care, Bob. So I was very touched by Bob's story. I didn't know it until our conversation today, and I think those are the things for me that just amplify my value and quality in human beings. Sometimes out of tragedy can come our greatest force and greatest strength to do better, to be good. And I want to invite all of you that there are two ways that we can really implement change, tragedy or love. We have a choice, and I am a big supporter of the love factor, that if you begin to take this time to value your innermost thoughts and feelings and create a pattern of good wishes and pure feelings, you will affect change on the planet. You will. And you'll be able to contribute to organizations like the Peace Alliance, supporting them with your well wishes and your support. These are the kinds of body of thoughts that we need to begin to engage in deeper relationships, deeper dialogues, so that we can gain a deeper understanding. I hope you've enjoyed our conversation with Bob Baskin from the Peace Alliance. For more information, just go to peacealliance.org. Remember, no one can take away your happiness unless you give them permission, and we are here to love each other the same. Now, if you're planning to change the world, start with changing yourself. Let's end today's conversation with bliss. If I had one wish, it would be this. Take care, everyone.
much more than a dream, a place of such beauty, it hurts